Hi y'all! In this video I am going to show you how to merge pieces, for example merging a couple of pieces into one large one, or even adding smaller pieces onto a larger project like we did with the ears here on Benjamin the Bat. So let's get right into it. To start, I have created a larger piece, and now we're going to attach some smaller pieces that we've already made. You can imagine that these might function like ears or perhaps like small arms. This is just a good way to reduce the amount of sewing that you're going to have to do towards the end of your project. So how we're going to connect these is we want to attach by 6 stitches right along here. So we're going to match up 6 stitches. So I'm only going to be attaching half of this to begin with, so we're going to count back from the last stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is the stitch that we're going to start in. And you notice how I'm going from the inside out. And then we're going to go directly into the next stitch on our base piece. And then you're just going to single crochet working under all 4 loops like normal, and then we'll just continue that for the remaining 5 single crochet. Like so. And then we're going to just continue working all the way around. You'll see this is what the connection looks like. It's a lot more clear because I used 2 different colors, but if you're using the same color of yarn, this is going to be almost unnoticeable. So I will meet you back when I have completed the round, and then I'll show you how to work the next step about attaching this side. So I've gone back around and done the first 2 stitches of the next row, and now we're at the point where we're going to work the next part around the outside edge of this piece. We're going to ignore the 6 connecting single crochet from the previous round. So we're going to reach over into the first available stitch. You may want to just count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going into this stitch, not here. That's where the previous connection was. And then we're just going to work single crochet as normal. And there's many different variations of this. You could work an attachment like this with some increases included or some decreases depending on how the shaping is. Just pay close attention to the pattern. However, for my patterns in particular, if you're working Benjamin the Bat, he is fairly simple, so you don't have to worry about a lot of crazy increasing or decreasing while you're doing these particular attachments. Okay, so we've done the 6 single crochet, and I'm actually pulling this yarn tail tight, and I'm going to work over the top of it for the next couple of stitches. You could always just weave this in though, if you don't want to do that. So now we're going to go into the next stitch. Remember, not the one with the previous connection, but the next available stitch. And then we're just working around as normal. So if this were a longer piece, this could function as some kind of arm, or this could be sort of details. This could be a head, and these little nubs could be the ears. But as you can see, like the attachment, you can see it because of the different colors, but the stitching is going to be identical if you're looking at it in the same color. So this is a really great way to avoid sewing pieces on. One thing to look out for though is if you're following a pattern where they use this particular attachment method, you do want to be careful that everything is lining up properly, because there's differences in tension your tension might be different than the designer's. So the designer say like, let's say, let me get a stitch marker. So say we're making a head, and this is the center of the face, and these are the ears. So you've attached the ear, and then we're going to put the eyes in a little bit later, and then we're going to attach another ear. Well, the designer has worked these attachments in based on where the center falls when they've designed the project. Now, if you're working and your tension is much looser or much tighter, these ears may end up accidentally shifting slightly. So if you work the attachment rounds and you're noticing like, hey, these 2 points aren't matching up with wherever, my face, my body, whatever center line you have. If they're not lining up, if they're crooked somehow, something like that, the adjustment you can make is go back to the attachment row, figure out where the center point is, and then just shift the attachment over. So for example, this row would read like 2 single crochet and then attach with 6 single crochet and then keep working. So if you needed this to shift over, say like 2 stitches, you could see instead work 4 single crochet, then attach with 6, or vice versa. It's a little harder if you have to move past your starting point, but just play around with it until you can get things kind of centered and then continue on as normal. Another type of easy merging is when you make multiple pieces and combine them into one and work continuously into that project. It's like we did here with Onyx the Owl's little toes. So I'll show you how to do this real quick. It's actually super easy. I think it's even a little bit easier than the previous method. So I've made 2 little samples and I'm going to show you how to combine them. And what you're going to do to start is you want to have one end, so this toe is fastened off, this toe is not, and we're going to work directly into the next available stitch of the second piece. Just single crochet. And that is the new beginning of our round, so we're going to put our stitch marker back there. And now each one of these is 12 stitches around, so I'm going to, well, I'm actually going to work all the way around, but if we had a third toe to connect, you're going to work halfway, connect the third toe, all the way around, and then back. In this case, we're just going to work all the way around. So I'm going to work 12 single crochet. I just worked my first one, so this is number 2. Just like with the previous example, I'm going to be pulling this tight, this loose end from this toe, and just working over the top of it when we connect here. You can always weave it in beforehand though. It might make it a little bit cleaner and you'll have less to worry about. Okay, so now where we're going to connect on this toe is the very next available stitch. So you might have to actually kind of pull this apart a little bit. So we're not connecting in this one because this is a stitch that was the previous row of the stitch. We're going to work into this next available stitch. And I'm going to work over the top of that yarn tail. And then we're just going to keep working all the way around. So for a total of 12 single crochet. This is also a great way to start the top of a heart or anything with kind of, shorter, stumpier legs. Like in my Bubbles the Bear pattern, this is the kind of the method we use to combine the legs. But I especially like it to make little bird feet. I think it works really great. And there we go. So if we worked all the way around, and now we're combining the 2 stitch totals. So each one of these was 12 single crochet around. So now we have a total circumference of 24 stitches. And the downside is there is this little bit of a gap in the center when you do this kind of connection, but honestly this is easily fixed with, you can actually just use one of these yarn tails and just sew back and forth for about 2 stitches, and that hole would close up. It's not super noticeable, especially if you're working really small toes. Most likely you're not even going to notice this at all. So, and that's it. That's how you go ahead and connect or merge 2 pieces. Like so. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like my content, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you check out the description if you'd like to join my newsletter. You can always be the first to know when I come out with a new video, new blog post, or pattern. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.